I'm really, really excited to make this video because I think a lot more of us are living and mothering in survival mode without even realizing it. Today, I'm going to be sharing 5 signs that you are mothering in survival mode. I am no stranger to this, and after going through separation with my ex, I moved back in with my parents, and it's been an incredibly difficult journey. And unfortunately, that definitely pushed me into a heavy survival mode. And as moms, especially solo moms out there, and even, I was in a marriage where I had a partner, I had a spouse, yet I was still carrying majority of the load. And I think that's a really big reality for a lot of women out there. So it's very, very possible that you could be in a relationship, be in a marriage, and still be carrying the load by yourself and still mothering in survival mode. So this video, I want to get extremely honest about motherhood and the journey that it is. When I was, younger, and I would hear women, say how hard motherhood is and just talk about being a mom, I never truly understood. You know how your mom always says, "Oh, you'll understand one day," and you're like, "Yeah, whatever, mom." I get it now. I don't like to say that motherhood is hard because for me, that was a really heavy limiting belief that I had. Motherhood is a journey. It's a journey of love. It's a journey of challenges, a journey of ups and downs and seasons that are hard. But motherhood itself is not hard. As women, as mothers, we are natural nurturers. We have that natural feminine energy. We are the natural caregivers and caretakers. So that part of motherhood, that is not what is hard. What's hard is the systems that are placed upon us that make it difficult. What's hard is carrying a load alone. What's hard is not having community or support and trying to mother. That is what's difficult. I don't like to say that motherhood itself is difficult, because being a mom is quite literally the most natural thing that I've ever experienced. I love my children. I'm fiercely protective of my children. I know how to be nurturing with my children. So for me, that's just something that comes naturally. And I know that there are some women out there that it doesn't, but I think that's more of being in that survival mode and not knowing how to tap into that nurturing side of motherhood. And I think that especially today, we live in a society where we are expected to carry so much as moms. We are expected to, it's the hypocrisy of, single mothers versus single fathers. Single fathers get praised, single mothers get shamed. You're supposed to work full-time, take care of your kids, keep a house clean, make sure you do special things and make motherhood and childhood magical for your kids. And all of this is being expected to be carried by the woman, the mother, the caretaker. What I've learned through my journey is that this is not supposed to be hard. We are supposed to be flowing through motherhood. But like I said before, because of the systems that are placed upon us, it makes it very difficult for us to be able to do so. My goal through my channel, my community that I'm building, is to start to speak up about this, to start to help teach women how to connect to their feminine energy, how to flow through not only life, but motherhood, and really reconnect with themselves and their purpose and their passion. Because I definitely, through my inner work journey, I've been able to tap into mine, and it's this. I love talking about motherhood. I love talking about feminine energy. I love teaching. I love nurturing and giving back. And through my inner work and just this very personal journey that I've been on, I've been able to tap more into that and really shed some of these layers that I was holding on to and rewire my brain from some of these limited beliefs that I've had. Okay, so before I keep rambling, let's get into the video. My name is Samaria, and I am a solo mom of 3 little ones under the age of 4. And I'm an inner work coach for moms looking to reconnect with themselves, rediscover who they are without a title, and then rise to be the version of themselves that has always been in there. Sometimes we just need a little bit of help finding her. I shared a little bit of my story in my other video, but I'm no stranger to survival mode and mothering in survival mode. I was in a very toxic, abusive marriage, and my ex provided a lot of financial stability, but emotionally I was being very harmed, and that was incredibly draining, and it definitely affected the way I was able to show up as a mother. And so I got to a point where I realized I can't live like this every day for the rest of my life. And furthermore, I knew that I deserved better. And so I made the call to leave my marriage and start over with my 3 children. I ended up moving back in with my parents, and that was very painful for me as well, because I do come from a very toxic family dynamic. This is something that I've definitely struggled with over the past couple of years. And as someone who has been going through this season of growth and learning and healing, it's very hard to do that in the same space and the same environment that hurt you, around the same people that are not willing to take accountability and are not on that same level of self-awareness as you. I've learned a lot about myself. I've learned a lot about coping and healing and mothering all at the same time. And so now I'm really ready to share it with the world, in hopes that if you are going through something similar, that this helps you and brings a sense of hope and a sense of connection. And I really just want other moms out there that are experiencing something that similar like what I went through. I want you to know that you're not alone. Enough about me. Let's get into it. 5 signs that you are mothering in survival mode. So sign number 1 is you're rocking that Adam Sandler look every single day. And let me just clarify, there is absolutely nothing wrong with dressing comfy, but I think we have to hold ourselves a little bit accountable and really look inward and see if how we're dressing is matching how we're feeling. So for example, myself, I am an entrepreneur. Lately, I've been stepping more into that leadership CEO role. And for me, I am able to have a flexible schedule and I work from home. So I stopped getting dressed. I stopped doing my hair, doing my makeup, doing my nails, like just really stopped taking care of myself. And I'm a firm believer that how you appear on the outside oftentimes shows how you're feeling on the inside. And so I had to be really honest with myself and start to prioritize pouring back into myself physically. And I'm not saying that you have to be conceited, but if you are not really putting any effort into your appearance at all, then that's maybe a sign that you are mothering in survival mode. Okay, sign number 2, and this is like actually something that I did. The only doctor you've seen in the past couple of years is your OB. Yeah. So I had 2 back-to-back pregnancies. I had my son in 2021, I had my daughter in 2022, and then I had my youngest child in 2024. And within that time span, the only doctor I saw was my OB, which is absolutely terrible. I was not putting any effort into my health. And if you have not seen a doctor, if you haven't gone for your regular checkups, you're not taking your vitamins, you're not taking care of yourself, but you're making sure your kids hit every appointment, then that's a sign that you're probably mothering in survival mode. Okay, sign number 3 that you are mothering in survival mode. Your idea of self-care is hiding in the bathroom. Let me be clear on this, because I understand what it's like to not have support, to not have that village, to not be able to step away from your kids. But there are ways that we can pour into our cups as well with our children. And so if you are not taking time out of your day for yourself to do just, even if it's just one thing that makes you happy and fills your cup, then that is a sign that you are definitely mothering from survival mode. Sign number 4, because I've definitely been there, done that, you are overstimulated by absolutely everything. And this is a big red flag, and I think it's difficult, especially if you're someone like me and you have multiple little ones. it can be a lot. It can be incredibly overstimulating. But if it gets to the point where something for me that I noticed is that I was jaw clenching a lot. So I could just be sitting around the house and my kids are just simply being kids. And I'm like clenching my jaw because I'm so overstimulated. Once I was able to recognize that in my body, I knew that that was a sign for me that something wasn't right and that I was very, very overstimulated. I needed to take a step back. And then the last and most important sign is that you don't know what to do for fun anymore. You don't know what your hobbies are. I remember one of my businesses is HR consulting. So I do employee onboarding. I host orientations, leadership trainings, and things like that. And one of the activities I like to do with new hires is to do the icebreakers. And I remember getting to a point where, because I participate as well, and it was, like, name 3 fun facts about yourself. And the only one I could say was that I'm a mom. If that is your only answer to what are 3 things about yourself, interesting things about yourself, if that's the only one that you can really think of and the other 2 are really hard to come up with, that's definitely a sign that as much as we love our babies, you're spending way too much time with your kids. You need some more time with yourself and you need to come back to yourself. And I do want to say before I wrap up this video, for a long time, I felt like because of what I saw growing up, I grew up in a family dynamic where dad went to work, he provided the money, mom did everything else. And so for me, when I became a mother, that was kind of what I already had conditioned into me, was that I give everything. I pour everything into everyone else. But rarely did I see my mom being poured back into, and it showed as she got older. She was not emotionally available for her children in the way that I know she would have wanted to be. So I think it's very important that we don't get being a good mother confused with depletion. You can be a good mom without depleting yourself. You can be a good mom and still pour into yourself. You can be a good mom and put yourself first. And I think that's something that's very, very important to remember. And anybody, and this is a big boundary for me now, anybody who tries to shame you for taking care of yourself first, that is not someone that you want in your corner. That is not someone that you need in your corner. And that is not someone who truly loves you and wants the best for you. Throughout this journey, I have become so incredibly strict on my boundaries. And that's really, really important part of shifting out of survival mode in motherhood. And also reconnecting with yourself and tapping back into your feminine energy. I may have to make a video on that later because I have like a crazy list of boundaries that I could definitely share. Or people say they're crazy, but I don't care anymore. You cannot be a good mother for your kids if you are not good first. And that is what I've learned the most throughout this journey. When your cup is filled, their cup is filled. So I may have to make another video on how we can begin to shift out of survival mode, because especially as a mom, we all know how hard it is. This is not something that you can just snap your finger and you're out of survival mode. And I think for people that are single and they don't have children that they're responsible for, they're not responsible for someone's whole entire childhood, it's easier to shift out than it is in motherhood. When you're a mom, there's different rules. There's different roles you have to play. So I may make a second video on this, a part 2, explaining ways that we can begin to shift out of that survival mode. Okay, so that is all I have for today. If you made it this far in the video, thank you so much for watching. And I hope that if you recognize yourself in any of this, awareness is always the first step. And I truly hope that this was able to help you. If you are a mom and you are on a journey of self-discovery, self-growth, and you're looking for your community, you're looking for your tribe, I would love to invite you to join my online community, the Mama Tribe, and I will link it below. It is a free community for the first 25 members, and I would love to see you and have you there. And also, I'm offering free 30-minute sessions for women who are looking to, or they're already on their journey and they're looking for a coach, a guide, support to help them through this. I have crazy stories and experiences, and I'm ready to help other women make the same transformations that I've made. So if you're interested, I will put the link to my booking down below as well. It is a 1-to-1 30-minute session. Come as you are. Bring your babies too. I get it. Totally understand. So it's really just a time for us to sit down and talk about where you're currently at, what your goals are, where you're trying to go, and what beliefs are holding you back. What is keeping you from becoming the woman that you already are? Because I want to make it very clear. I will never preach that you need to become somebody else. I 110% believe that you are already the person that you are dreaming of being. She is already within you. You are already her. We just have to tap into her. Okay? It's like she's asleep right now. And we have to awaken her. And that is my entire purpose, my entire goal. So if you're looking to go a little bit further, I would absolutely love to meet with you, and I would love to help you on your journey. Hope this was helpful, and I can't wait to see you next time.